Senator presenting Council Ward delegation and our CMP quarterly report. Mr. Rob.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me. Wanted to touch on a few things from our second quarter update and also take your questions if you have any. First of all, in terms of updates for the detachment, our detachment is slated to begin receiving our body-worn cameras in February of 2025. So this is a national initiative. The rollout is already underway at a number of detachments, but we're slated for February. So you'll start seeing officers with body-worn cameras in the new year, which I think is it's an important initiative to help increase public trust, and it's also very important for accurate evidence collection and accountability. So I'm happy to see those coming in the new year. Over the weekend, I sent a media release regarding charges against 4 offenders who are either from Hanna or outside the area who committed offenses allegedly in Hanna. I've shared those with the other communities as well, so they can be shared on social media or anywhere else that you see fit. Also, in other news, we have the addition of a team for our area consisting of a regular RCMP member and also a psychiatric nurse. They're paired up in one vehicle. Their office is based out of Drumheller, but they cover our area as well. So we can use their support in cases involving people dealing with mental health crises. So we can call on them whenever we need a psychiatric nurse's assistance to help get someone with support. So that's a really good resource that we've added to our area, which I'm really happy about. Also in the quarterly report, you'll see some of the proactive community engagement that we've been doing over the previous quarter from July to September. Just some of the sampling of the things that we've been up to in the community. Also included in here are the statistics. If you have any questions about those comparisons of this year's Q2 versus previous Q2s from 2022 all the way through to 2023.
Cannabis covered.
So there's a federal act that covers cannabis that covers laws, or I guess covers cannabis issues federally. So things regarding grow ops are one of them. So each province has their own cannabis legislation as well, but there's also an umbrella federal legislation that also controls like international import export issues and cross border provincial as well.
Okay. Well, I don't know, it's happening at this time.
Yeah. Also, too, I wanted to touch on bylaw as well. I know that the town is currently soliciting applications, or maybe that's just closed for bylaw officers. But in the meantime, our office is, of course, happy to assist with bylaw issues where there's a safety element involved. Things like loose dogs, where there might be concern for safety of residents, or if the town requires the RCMP support to attend a resident to speak with a resident if they think that there's any sort of safety concerns. We can do that as well. So I don't want to take up too much time talking, though. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to speak to those questions.
I don't have a question, but I do have a statement. When I read this, it's staggering to me that, you know what, there's more mental health issues seemingly than there is with drugs and, you know, other offenses.
There seems to be quite a few mental health issues, particularly drinking and substance abuse. And I think financial hardship also creates mental health struggles as well. So yeah, we definitely are seeing that. I think having a nurse here too will help, because we have limitations as officers in terms of what we can do. We can act some your mental health active. They're a immediate danger to themselves or others for a mental health issue. But sometimes there's those cases where they're not at that point. So a psychiatric nurse can help consult with them on, medications, counseling, and that sort of thing. They're tied into the AHS world in a way that we're not. So it's really helpful. And we've already used their supports in the last few weeks.
It's really not a criminal issue.
Yeah.
But to keep them safe, you have to do that. But it's the minute they see the police, I think I'm not a bad person. I'm not breaking the law. I'm just the crisis. It's wonderful.
Yeah, we've always tried to involve the medical system as soon as possible. And sometimes, when there's not a psychiatric nurse available, it's using paramedics and getting there as soon as we can. And our role is just to make sure that there's scene safety. And if someone is such a danger that they don't have insight into the risk that they're in, then that's where the Mental Health Act requires that we take them to the doctor. But it remains a medical issue. Unfortunately, Alexis also has their own peace officers, so they can take over from us, and then that gets us back on the road so that we're not tied up in the hospital. So that's one of the differences that I've seen between like BC, where I used to work, and here in Alberta. AHS has a peace officer system, so they can actually help us facilitate the handover to the doctor faster. So it's a good system.
I have a question for Rob. I see you're going to be letting us know or giving us a little release about the body worn cameras in your report here. Will you be doing the same thing with the public consultation?
Yes. Okay. My understanding is the public consultation tool, they've started with that, but there is an email address there as well that you can contact to get more information on that. Okay. That's much newer to me than the body worn camera issue.
Okay.
So I'm still researching.
Last time, if it's what I'm thinking it is, like it's collecting information from the community for your annual plan, is that? Yeah,
that's part of it.
We actually did that in cooperation with the arsenal. We actually did build that out and get it out to the community. We want to it's already being done. That's great. So I can reach out and just see what they're doing that.
Good. And if you don't get the answers you need, let me know too. I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, that's going to be a copy paste.
That's all I need.
Rob made that up, so.
That's federal government bilingual. Yeah.
Rob, just I had a individual stop by the shop, and they live on Pioneer, and they were Palliser, and they were questioning the lack of policing on there. So they mentioned solar radar. Is that something that's viable, or is that some resident's pipe dream, or
having like a stationary system?
Yeah.
Not likely. We did just get a radar detection sign. So it's not enforcement, it's warning. You might see it in our parking lot there. So we just got it. We're hoping to set it up soon in some of the areas that we've received complaints about. But one other thing that has changed as well is that the Alberta sheriffs changed their zones for where Hanna is covered. So they used to cover Hanna with Alberta sheriffs from like the Medicine Hat zone. But now we're covered by Drumheller's sheriff zone. So you may have noticed in the last few months that there have been a lot more sheriffs in the area because we're just that much closer
Sure, yeah.
than Medicine Hat. So certainly speed enforcement is completely within their mandate, as it's ours as well.
Yeah.
But that's one of their primary mandates, and I can definitely mention that as a concern to them as well.
Yeah, it just, I know for a fact, a couple, 3 weeks, about a month ago now, I've been caught myself, just, holy cow, I'm 54.
Yeah.
So what I consciously do now is I turn the car, set cruise control about 45 and not idle my way down the street.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got passed on the way down the street and I'm going to myself, okay, and then this gentleman come in and asked if there was anything that could be done. I'm like, well, what's the, we'll have a meeting with the entity, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what about Florida radar? That would slow everybody down. I went, just to talk about the radar will be a hot button topic. I said, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think like an automated system, the way that you see in Calgary, would be something that we would see here.
It's not feasible.
Yeah, I just don't think that there's the traffic level for something like that.
Well, I just, like I said,
But definitely, and you said that was on Pioneer.
Palace.
On Palliser.
Yeah.
They have the little square that shows you're going too fast and it blinks.
Yeah.
Instinctively, I always make sure that I'm going slow enough that it's not blinking because it freaks me out. No,
Yeah.
no, or just,
Yeah.
so,
That's the system that we just got.
oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, so we can set that up on Palliser and see how that changes things.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it's just, like I said, it's kind of like when you guys do your blitzes every once in a while. It's funny because all of a sudden everybody's on their seatbelt, everybody's stopped, it's stop 10. And then, yeah, 3 months later, 4 months later, you all revert back to where that now. Well, yeah. Just one. Yeah, it's gonna get a ticket and we're out.
Yeah, it works out, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that making bicycle, that's actually a pretty good thing, because there's skills on it.
Right. And it really does help.
So do we have anything else for Mr. Waldman? Sandra able to,
She's messaged me. She says she's not doing.
okay. Okay, thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will add to that for 4 more days, I will have this mustache where our detachment is raising money for Movember for men's health issues. So that's why I had a thing on my face.
It's a good mustache.
We will recognize you after.
Save it for 4 more days and then you'll be done. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Hang on here, buddy. Swing past the shot. Okay, I gotta get those packages and pick them. Okay. Take care. Do I get to pay to leave it on? Is that how that works? Sure.
It's my turn.
No, motion to accept gospel Wellesley report for information, Councilor Crawl, all in favor, carried.
Okay, so I'm working on my time management skills, now that I go on time. So I applied for the Canada Summer Jobs Program, so I completed that. As I mentioned at the last meeting, there is that Navy Summer Jobs grant, so I don't know if that's worth pursuing or not, based on our population, but it pays a lot better than the Canada Summer Jobs one.
I'm presuming for that one, we need to hire people of Indigenous
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
It's not a huge amount
No.
of people.
Yes.
So,
All there is. I wouldn't say that there's over 150 of them in this location.
They're not identifying.
You're not We are there. So then maybe I'll reach out.
They have to self-identify before they can,
Right.
they categorize as those.
So me and Thomas have had several conversations with unstoppable conversations. I guess it began with Prairie Land School Division. In the past, they wanted to bring this company in to have conversations and bring people together. But every time we have a meeting, it's more like a sales pitch to it. And then they often change what they're going to do to try to fit to grants and just to make sure they get money. But so Prairie Land School Division mentioned that they weren't interested in funding it. Neither me or Thomas found that it was
beneficial.
yeah, in any way. So we kind of kiboshed that one. We got the safety committee going again. I think that the last meeting was over 2 years ago. So we had our first meeting like last week or 2 weeks ago. So we're getting that going again and working on some things for that. Obviously, we're working on the budget. You know, it must be that time of year. Every company contacts us and wants to sell their products. So we reviewed a couple of software programs, and we think they both are beneficial in streamlining processes and saving time. And I think they do really good for residents as well when you need to complete forms. So we're gonna look how we can.
Back to the safety committee reinstatement. What exactly is this? Is this a sort of a whole part of individuals from community and businesses?
It's just staff.
It's our staff health and safety.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you.
So we're working on that sponsorship program. I believe in the past it was to get a former member of staff to run this for us. Money put in budget to pay this person to do this, but nothing had happened. So I've been working on like a contract with them with set timelines and deadlines to get things done, so we can actually get something done on that front. I've been working on the animal control bylaw. I've been talking to Harvest Sky Animal Rescue to review it as well to get their input, and that's one of the next topics based on that input. And the garbage collection tender went out, and the deadline is December the 12th. So I think when we checked online, we put it on ACP. So there was like how many people expressed it?
I didn't count, I would say 12,
Yeah.
12 or 15.
They haven't submitted, they're just what's interested.
So no submissions yet?
Yeah. That's me.
Any questions of Mr. Matthew?
I'll hear it again tonight. I'll be in time.
Not very nice, are you? Do we need a motion for that? But didn't think so. Just checking that I read it once today, so. Transition to lifetime dog licenses.
Okay, so this again comes from our discussions with Harvest Sky. They mentioned it, and I know that there was something that our former bylaw officer was looking into as well. So it's just to gauge your interest in moving from like every year registering your dog for a license to just getting them a lifetime dog license. So there's a list of what we collect each year for dog license fees. Maybe the advantage would be it might encourage more people to get a dog license. You know, I know a lot of people have dogs and they never get a dog license, so it might encourage them. You know, and the goal is to, you know, reunite lost dogs with their own is the number one goal, right? From the dog license.
So what would the dog's life? So is that what you're going?
Yeah, what would you set the dog license at if you were doing lifetime? You know, for making this kind of money,
Yeah, that would be.
you know, you'd have to look at $200 to $400 for a lifetime, but the dog might only last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, you know, you have small dogs kind of live longer than big dogs. And dogs just, you know, don't like
Would there be a prorated, for example, Fido got run over by a car?
Yeah.
After a week, you know, prorated or Fido's like that is now.
We've done.
There's other communities that do it as well. There's quite a few other communities that have, I think it's a great idea.
Well, I think
I think it's, you know what, just to remember every year in and of itself. And there's a cost with getting the dog tag and
Yeah.
whatever. You get it once,
And it's,
and
yeah,
that's it, it's a one-time cost.
No, I'm just concerned about, because I know everything we do, some cancel the membership at the gym. We prorate it and refund a small administration fee for the service.
is it transferable?
again, I try to something set the
It's
direction.
still in the planning stage,
Yeah.
I think, right now.
But it's just to get your feedback and your thoughts on it. Is like we can talk about if you want to set like an average of what 5 years of dog license this will cost as a fee, or you know, do you want it transferable, or
As well as
you know, because I guess
it's updating your information, so every time I come in, when I have a dog
yeah,
to renew, I update in case I hadn't, because if that's the goal and the person moves 3 times,
yeah,
then we can't find them because they don't need to contact us.
and that's
That's a bit of a drawback.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing, yeah, that they may move, right? So. But if we have like email addresses, how often change your email address?
Then you're gonna have the person that says, well, I can't afford the $15 a year almost.
Yeah,
Well, and that's that with the other,
Yeah.
you know,
Option.
yeah.
I mean, there's still other options. If
Yeah.
you don't want to buy the one, there is other option. I mean, other communities do it too. I mean, if you want to do it on the annual basis, then it's $15. If you want to do a lifetime,
yeah. you
then
could
it's
do
this
that.
amount.
Yeah.
And I think there's, you know, providing those options.
Yeah, that's,
I think people forget too. I know myself. You know, I don't remember every year. I do have somebody else in my family that does remember me too, but I forget that, you know.
It's like business licenses, though. I know, yeah, and so I have to renew mine every year, and I know we are, the way the system is set up, we can't renew it on the 27th of December. It has to be January, January.
yeah,
When Marie was down paying the utility bill one year, so we'll just pay for the business at the same time. I can't. You can't. That's the new year, so. Okay, so keep that forefront of your little noodle. Got any ideas, suggestions, getting back to Matthew? And it's a neat idea. It's something outside the box again, so.
and hopefully for next council meeting, we'll bring the updated animal control bylaw to you, so you can.
A redacted version, that's 72 pages.
Yeah, and then nothing about me doing traffic stops or.
Oh, good.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, good.
So can we get a motion that council provide feedback, transition from annual? From annual dog license to lifetime.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Council Warwick, all in favor? Carried. Land development updates.
Okay, to council, I believe in the past, there was a plan to develop some properties here with a partnership between the town, special areas and the sky. But it kind of stalled at some point where I think everyone agreed to do it, but then it just didn't move forward.
No, sorry.
Oh.
There was not agreement to do it. Special areas was not in favor
Yeah.
of how we position ourselves without sending it out to
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So once, sorry, just to clarify that.
Yeah, so I guess that's where it stalled with that. So again, speaking with Thomas from Harvest Sky, we thought it would be good to bring this back. Thomas was looking at grants as well, and I think the original plan was to build nice homes with this, and I think there's a demand for low-income homes as well in the town. So there's more funding opportunities available if we went that route instead of big, nice, fancy homes, expensive homes. So again, we're just trying to get council's input if they would like us to move ahead with the original program and transition it to some kind of affordable homes project and start trying to get this done.
And so with affordable, are we talking like multi-family? Are we talking?
I think there's a note in here what it says for the housing accelerator fund offers $20,000 per housing unit. Bonuses for affordable and missing middle housing such as duplexes and triplexes. So it'd be like multi-family units. A duplex could generate 40,000, while a triplex would be 60,000 in funding. So
That'd be somewhat our low cost housing that we already got now.
Yeah, so
Wasn't the original proposal go for like a family,
Yeah.
single family?
family dwelling.
Yeah.
And then my next question was that the partnership is with Harvest Sky, Town of Hanna, the Special Areas Board, and then a private, a 2123932. No,
That was never, there was
It
never,
was a proposal that never got off.
but I'm wondering,
right,
excuse me,
that's in a
Off the
motion.
road.
I'm wondering if, I mean, I haven't heard the final analysis from Harvest Sky Economic Development. I think that needs to go back to them. And they need to relook at that. I mean, I haven't even been in a meeting where we looked at it again, where we need to go back and reconsider how we're tendering this. Because that was the question I had too. And of course, a Special Areas Board is not in favor based on that fact that we were virtually handing it over to one construction company to do it. And I'm not, they were the individuals that actually brought it forward. So, but I think in fairness to other community members that are in construction, I think you have to tender those projects out. So I'm wondering how come or Harvest Sky Economic Development is not reconsidering what that looks like. And I don't know, I sit on that, but we haven't had a meeting or a discussion around that. So in my opinion, that should go back to Harvest Sky Economic Development, and that proposal should be maybe considered differently before bringing it to the council.
yeah, I think Thomas will probably do that because we've just had chats like the last week or so about bringing this back. You know, we were working on the other grants, so
Yeah.
I think Thomas will bring that back.
Because that's an initiative that would involve, 3 different community, like special areas, Harvest Sky and the town, if we still agreed upon it, to put in, that allocation of funds to start that initiative. And those plans were all drawn up. So they have the blueprint of it. So I don't know. I'm just saying that, what I think it was Harvest Sky's initiative. I think it should go back to them and they should consider it before we take on something different.
So what is the feeling of council? Are we still thinking single family dwelling? Thinking multiple family dwelling? Because obviously Harvest Sky we're part of Harvest Sky, so we can have some input with helping them bring back the proposal to us. It's no point in doing a proposal if we're not going to get any feedback.
That feedback's already been taken and considered. It is a multi-house dwelling. It's not low income. It's not any
Single family, you mean?
or single family. So single family.
Single family can still be made affordable by not having the restrictions of it being 1,500 square feet or larger. I think one of the downsides to people with no income who want to live in a home is that the duplex or triplex, you have noise and your neighbor is your wall. That if you did smaller affordable family homes, maybe smaller lots, there's options that could be done that allows dignity at any income, and we don't have that here. You're either affordable or you're scrapped, and it sucks.
There are several smaller lots in some of the older parts of town that I think should look for that, as well as revitalizing that part of the community.
So, Mr. Mayor, the lot was already decided upon too. It was going to be in Fielding Place. So, I mean, whatever the caveat was around having a lot there, that was fundamentally where that house was going to be located.
So we're looking at a new proposal because we're not going ahead with the original proposal.
And that was with that specific company that wanted us,
And he had the lot.
and he had the law.
That was his contribution.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We basically, I think we're scrapping plan A and making a plan B along similar lines. Some different parameters. Like I said, we have several lots in town that are small lots that are very unattractive to, I'll use the lot for finished lot. As an example.
And
Go ahead, Carl.
Has this personal
company, have they been notified or anything about this?
No, we brought it to council then. Because again, this was before my time, so I just wanted to see what council's direction is and what they want staff to spend their time on doing.
I guess my other question is, you know, those lots at Fielding Place, the value of them about, I'm gonna say 22,000, 20,000, 22 in about that, which was, a reasonable price for a lot. I would ask what the price of a lot is anywhere else in town. Like if we're looking at any, you know, established lots, what is the price of those? I mean, they're quite a bit more from what I understand. I mean, I guess we could consider. Again, so. I know that wasn't, I'm just saying that this is just part of some of the information that came from some of this is, you know, price was everything.
I guess with the fielding lots, is do we want to start putting, smaller houses up in that, or do we want to focus on largest development lots in that area?
As long as it meets the land use bylaw. Yeah.
I refer to 12,000 exactly, we've got four plexes and we've got 600,000 all portions off the town, but we turn that first.
So how do you put this out to tender?
Well, it was never put out to tender. Alberta,
How do you?
oh, easy.
Yeah, we do
Well,
that
not
through,
easy.
we would do that through the Alberta Purchasing Connection and the other connections that we have. We would be obligated to do that. As our Harvest Sky, because they're leading, if they were leading the project, they would be obligated to do that as part of our trade agreement. It's just something you have to,
So what we would
if we
do,
purchase a piece of equipment, we have to put it out to tender. Probably the next step that Harvest Sky would do once they have a meeting is inform the person that brought, or the business, the 212 business, that the proposal that they submitted has not been accepted based on for these reasons, and that the Harvest Sky is reconsidering something else. I don't know, would you say that's reasonable?
and this Alberta 212 will have an opportunity to put in a proposal on the new.
The biggest thing I think, excuse me,
Go ahead.
I think the bigger thing is probably, you know, that, Pride Partnership was having that funding. So if you only have, you know, if you have less involved, I mean, what kind of home are you building? Can you build a house for, you know, 300,000 right now? Or 200,000? You can't, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the other kind of caveat that we looked at. You know, if you have these partnerships, you know, you can build the house that whatever that we're looking to build.
That would be a proposal that we could still send out if the bidding partner would have an investment in that house. So we still have 3 years split on that. On the project. Providing we get it together, providing we get it in that fashion that special areas agreeable with it.
So this partnership, 212-3982, for the limited, they're not going to be in favor of tendering that out. Yeah.
They have no, this is a contracting company in town.
Yes.
They wanted to proceed with this.
Yes, so they're
So
not going to be
Harvest
a part of sending this out to tendering it out to somebody.
This is dead. This one is dead.
I know that.
So when Harvest Guy gets the new package together, Alberta 212 will have an opportunity to re-engage as a bid.
I guess though, if they already have ownership in the land, that's a bit of an advantage on a bid, yes.
I think this here, then if we're looking at just doing it, there's a two-way partnership between Harvest Sky Community Development and the town of Hanna. Is that what we're considering here? Is that? They would. They've already said they will. Oh, yes, yes,
yeah.
but they won't if it's, yeah.
But if it's a partnership with private and not tendered, they
At the end of the day, doing it
the first way would be political suicide, because we are violating the transparency of our organization by going, no, we'll take someone who's a profit-making organization and give them the perks. We can't do that. So I'm glad it's dead. That's not right.
On the other hand, a business came forward with a creative idea to enhance the economic viability of the community, which isn't a bad thing. And that's what we want.
But it's,
We want private investment. It's
That's the whole thing here. And it's side of the post, that's the other, it's. We want something that's viable for lower income.
I think it's gonna be tough, because when I was near Grand Prairie, I talked to one of their councillors who was owned a construction company, and he said, nobody in the city of Grand Prairie will build affordable homes. They want to build the big, expensive houses where they make a ton of money off it. The affordable homes, they're not interested in, because,
And it's risky.
yeah, so.
It's risky in the market.
You're not going to make as much, but the whole thing is, it's,
You're helping the community.
what do we want to do with them? Oh, more people or just one family, that's no special.
So I guess what are we asking here? Because I'm not opposed if we decide that we wanted to do this partnership, then it's, of course, it's between Harvest Valley, the town, and this other company. And this is a different initiative than what Harvest Valley Economic Development has worked on in the past. So what we're looking at here now is the town taking this on and doing a different partnership and going ahead with building this.
I think it would go through Harvest Sky. So you would set what your preferences is, and then Tom's could take it to Harvest Sky, and then it would go to special areas that we're all in favor, then we can push ahead with that vision. So do you want to do the single family home, or do you want to do the low income homes? We're just looking for direction, because how you want to move ahead.
I would think if somebody else gets a contract to build this place, other than this number of companies, you're probably gonna lose them. That's the others. I mean, they're not gonna invest $150,000 to let somebody else build it. They no, so I mean,
But
they've also got a little bit of advantage in the bid process, count control, is that they've already got a lot. What they can't build small things. As long as it be signed.
I'm not opposed to working with this partnership. I just say, I think this is a little bit different,
I think
maybe than what Harvest Guy was proposing. So, I mean, I
think we're in two different models here. We're looking at one with special areas being involved, and the Harvest Guy ourselves and the bid partner, and it's one that we're currently looking at. Special areas wants to be part of it. I don't think we want to be a part of it without a proper tender. So I think we need to wordsmith a motion along the lines of the town had to proceed with the development partnership project for operation at Harvest Sky Economic Development Corporation, special areas, and a bid process tender ensuring transparency and competitiveness.
don't think, honestly, this was brought to us by this individual. I'm not in favor of this at all. I'm not in favor of going beyond. I'm in favor of supporting local businesses and opportunities if we can. He has brought a proposal to us just like anybody else. The fact that one entity didn't want to be involved for various reasons, I mean, that was their decision. So are we dealing with that we want to try to involve them? Then that's a whole different entity. This individual is not going to be wanting to be involved at all. So this is a whole different scenario. They brought the proposal to us as a local business opportunity. So I think that's what we're looking at. Am I in favor of giving them an opportunity? Yes. But is it gonna, I mean, if we're gonna tender it out differently, I think there's
It
this,
was never tendered, so there's nothing different.
no. No, it wasn't tendered, but you're saying it's this company brought it to us as a proposal, a partnership proposal. So now we're going beyond and saying, oh no, we're gonna scrap that and we're gonna,
Take your idea.
yeah, and tender it out to, you know, as we do other processes. I'm not in favor of that at all. I think we need to go back to the drawing table and have a conversation with these individuals, this individual company, and see where we're at with that. There was already something put in place that was already predetermined. All those specs are in place.
And did that original conversation happen with Harvest Star and the developer?
Yes,
Yeah, so that would be up to Harvest Star.
yeah, that happened with Mark, and so that was brought to him.
Was my memory when a few years ago, one of the real estate companies brought in a ready to move. Fourth or fifth. I don't even know who lives there. You would know. And there was some concessions there. I think it was no taxes until the property sold, or didn't have to pay for the lot until the property sold. There was some concession there. I'd have to look back in history, but it's really not a whole lot different than.
Was that back in the day when it was actually the town council actually looked at having, they had a construction company that was gonna do some, is that the one you're talking about?
Nope, this was a local realtor, and there was a vacant lot, and they saw a need, and there was demand for housing. And we worked with Big Country Housing, who was too busy at the time, and they brought in a ready to move. It met the land use bylaw. It's a single family dwelling, fit into the lot. It was a big deal. I remember it coming down Third, down Fox Lake Trail and down Third, and it was a bit of an issue to get it around the street and back into the lot in between all the houses. But
I mean, finding construction people right now, I mean, for the last 2 years has been impossible.
the exact,
I mean, anywhere in the country, you can't, you're years away. I have friends that are, well, even here with what's happening to some of the new builds. I mean,
the exact details of who contributed what.
Yeah.
Like, I think the real estate company purchased the house. But I think if I remember right, they asked for concessions from the town until the house sold. At that time, the real estate market was hotter than it is right now, so it was pretty low risk, plus it was supporting development and creative thinking in the community. Just as an example of another private-public partnership.
Has this number company even been approached? Like special areas, Harvest Sky and town, we all know about it, this.
The number company came to Harvest Sky with the proposal.
I don't know if I
I don't know anything about this now.
I don't know if our guys reach back out to.
I don't know about anything. Nothing's been brought to the table, so I have no idea what's going on, which is a complete and utter shock to me as usual.
Like I would think they should know something about this before anything's done. They may pull out on their own. You may say, no. You know, they gotta have that option. You can't just think that.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to table this until we can get Harvest Sky on board as far as contacting Alberta 212.
I think it just needs to go back to Harvest Sky where it initially come from. Was there initiative?
But we have to table this for now. And can we table this now? We can table it. Yeah.
You're wanting to
So I make the motion. All in favor?
You know,
Opposed?
Do you need to know if council's wanting to include the 150 in the 2025 budget?
Yeah, it's carried.
It's not a tradition.
Anything else for roundtable? Patrol? No. Council Warwick? Council Murphy?
No, we just saw you a couple days ago.
Yeah. Council Murphy Thurl?
no,
I guess you got your national thing coming up, right? So.
yeah,
hurling coming up on next Thursday. And we already got rooms being booked in the hotels, so they're happy. I'll be happy when that weekend is over.
I bet.
It's kind of disappointing, Councilor Earl, that, you know, all the work you put into that, and we did it with 14 teams. 19 finals, yeah. There's a lot of work for a national event, and to have this, there's, I shouldn't say poor, there's a lack of interest for lack.
Oh, what it is right now, it's a lot of minutes talk, you know, on the lobbies. And we're moving it back to Saskatchewan next year. So we'll get the Manitoba teams and Saskatchewan for this year, our district set up. We got the 8 of our district.
And I have nothing other than I'd like to thank our public works staff for kicking the crap out of the snow as much as they did, as quickly as they did. It was kind of ugly. They were out Saturday and banged off most of the major stuff, and then it blew back in on Sunday on them, and they were back out again. So, I think they did a fine job. We, think overall we were pretty well. I don't think overall. I know overall we were pretty tough with snow. When you go in town. With that said, we adjourned at 9.